Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Let's see. All right, telling it. Hey Coral, Pinky, how's it going? Yep, it finally got to be in 6:30. Or you finally caught me doing a live, but I do them every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 Arizona time zone for 2 hours. Just getting drinks ready and waiting for everybody to show up. This is what I did last night in my live for just book review. I was working on the digestive system, working on all the notes for the digestive system, so I got all that done last night. And some codes. Hey Twinkle, how's it going? I labeled all the parts of digestion, started with one, went all the way down, got all the way to the last thing, and I forgot to draw on the spleen. So it's not drawn in there, but until afterwards. At least it's not numbered for the digestion system. Some people don't even number until they get down to the liver, and that's where they start because they're only doing the accessory glands that are with the digestive system. But it doesn't matter really how you order them as long as you know which order of, especially the duodenum, the duodenum, your ileum, as long as you know which comes first, second, and third right there, for sure with those three. I've seen that on the CPC exams for years, so just be sure you know which comes first, second, or third. Hey, Kansas City, how's it going? Hey, Golden, you caught my live. I'm so glad you're here to catch my live. I do post the repeats on YouTube, so you can watch them then, but it's not as fun unless you're here being able to ask questions and participate in the questions and stuff, so it's a lot funner this way. It's super cold here in Arizona. We got a big old cold front coming through. It's trying to give me a headache, but I'm not going to let it happen this time. So we're doing good. It's just super cold. Goodness. It's supposed to get down to 30, close to 30. I don't know. It's like 40 right now, but that's really cold for us here in Arizona. What's the temperature? Temperature right now. It's 52 degrees. That's super cold. Now, tonight it's supposed to get down to 39. Too cold for us. Oh my gosh. We don't know how to survive in 39-degree weather. The sun's not even down yet, so we're still waiting on the sun to go down, so that's why it's still warm. Well, for us, it's freezing cold out there. Yep, 310 days of sunny sun. Hey, MK, how's it going? Hey, Shadow. Hey, Elisa. Hey, Shawnee. What is Scorpio here? I haven't seen her. I hope she's able to catch a live. I was tutoring someone this week, and she remembered one of the questions that was on the exam the first time she took it, and then she found me, and now she's working on the process of elimination, but I don't know if I can find it. I haven't done the medicine section yet, but she just took it like in January, February, somewhere around there, and for the first time, didn't pass, went looking for resources, found me. So she had a question about acupuncture and said it was on her exam. So it's back here in medicine somewhere. I remember telling everybody in my Discord to be on the lookout for it, but I haven't added it to the document what's been on the CPC exam in the last 45 days. I need to add it on there. I just haven't done it yet, but I wanted to show y'all those codes. We were working during it, and I won't be able to find it. Medicine is just a hodgepodge of craziness, for sure. Look it up real quick. There we go. Yes. It's going to be around the 9-7, right, range. Yeah, it's these. So we got Acupuncture Guidelines I need to go through and see what's going on here, if there's anything important. One thing I did note is that the parent codes can only be coded once. The initial, we definitely don't want to code those initials. Anything that says initial, we only code one time. So initial right there, because there's 4 codes in acupuncture, 2 parents, and then 2 child codes. So anything that says initial, you can only code one time. And then the differences are without and with electrical stimulation. And that's it. That's pretty much it. You have 2 that are without electrical and 2 that are with electrical. The other one's over here. But that's all the keywords you really need to worry about. I just didn't know that one was on the CPC exam. I'm going to try to find some practice exam questions that are relatable or in that genre, but just in case, be sure y'all know about those codes and know that anything that says initial will only be coded once, and the differences are without electrical and with. Yep. And they're done. It's mostly time-based, so the first 15 minutes will be here. Any additional 15 minutes will be here. So these 2 together will be 30 minutes. To get 45 minutes, you would code this one once and this one times 2. So hopefully that's helpful. Other sections we got done in the CPT book are the eyes. Be sure, and if you haven't done this, look up the eye anatomy and Google search with the word function. So I just go eye anatomy, and then I type in function. My kids are barking because it's cold outside. And then when I do my Google search, then I just switch it to images. So where's images? The second one right there. And when that pops up, it gives me a bunch of pictures that'll show me certain body parts of the eyeball. And what I'm looking for is their function. So when they tell me what any of these parts do, that's the picture that I'll pick and go to it and then I'll write in, come on, camera. I'll write in what the function is. And I can do that for any section, whether it's eyes or the ears. It doesn't matter. Any of the sections, I go on and do the same way. I just Google exactly what they wrote at the bottom of the anatomy picture, and then I just hit function at the end, and then that way I can get all this info. That way you don't have to rely on my notes so much. I mean, y'all can do this. I'm not, inventing a new thing. It's just all Google. I love Google. So I search here what I don't know, of course. 20 years of medicine do give me some stuff, but it's super helpful. And then I just take what one word thing, I know I got a couple of them, but that makes the difference. We've got a lot of my rings. So what's the difference? This one's general anesthesia and this one's none. No general anesthesia. That's my differences. And AAPC does love to pick anything that starts out with the same thing, especially if they're two parents and they start out my ring, including, aspiration. They would love this. And the Eustachian tubes, because you have to go pretty far, because inflation is here, inflation. The only difference is requiring general anesthesia. And that's exactly the differences between CPT codes. They're going to pick, hold on, my kids are being way too quiet, so I know my Travis is up to no good. You know you aren't going to be on anything nefarious, Travis. Pick something and let me hear it play, and it's not to be any of that bad anime stuff. No. It is supposed to be rated 13 and younger. Come on, pick something and play. Oh, Grandma comes on in. I cooked her some dinner. All right. Let me check this. Hey, Perfectly. Hey, Carmen. Texas, it's 23 degrees. Brr. My Uncle David lives in Texas, and my Aunt Debbie, my mama's sister and brother, both live there. Teresa, test Saturday. Thank you for all the great help. Wish I'd found you sooner. I do too. I hope what help we've given you is going to be really good for Saturday's exam. Just had 3 pass today. We had Andrea passed yesterday or the day before, and then today we had is it Stephanie and my last one. Who is it? There comes my mom in. Andrea, Samantha, that's what it was, and Shauna. So yay, we had all 3 pass today. It was so much fun. We were talking about it in our chat room, but in our chat room we have even this little who have we helped room, so I like to post all their little statements of when they passed. Whenever they tell me is that they passed. She got an 80% today. Woohoo! It don't matter as long as you get passing, right? But it's kind of cool when you get on up there in some of the scores. So love it. Super helpful. Let me go say hi to my mom. Be right back. Yeah, Mom. Grab me some steak and some taters. I cooked. No, yeah, I didn't spend a lot of time on it, so hopefully it's okay. I'm just going live because it's Wednesday night. And the boys have had their hot dogs and steak too, so they're good. I'll be back. Travis, how come you haven't picked something? Watch something Grandma would like. Okay. Grandma's eating dinner. I grilled her a steak for her birthday today. Not that it wasn't last Sunday. I'd ordered in Memphis barbecue from Memphis, Tennessee, because that's where she's born and raised, So she's been eating on that. Now that she's done with that, I got her a steak. So, I'm completely trying to clog her arteries at 70 years old, but that's the last thing. I'm done after this. It's freezing in Texas. Hey, Shell, how's it going? Hey, Q. Thanks, Coral, about the congratulations. Love it, love it, love it. Just so much fun in our chat room when we talk about everybody passing. We had Andrea on the 21st, and we had Keisha too. So much fun. We had Wendy and Mary. These are all just since the 19th. It's just so much fun. We had somebody else. Who else did we have? We had Wendy, Cynthia, Auntie CC. Her and Wendy got 100s on E&M for the exam. Woohoo. That's awesome too. That's so much fun. Yep. No, they don't tell you, Tanya, as soon as you finish if you passed or not, unless you take the online exam. Sometimes the next morning you'll wake up and even if you only took part 1 or part 2, it'll say in one section whether you passed or failed. But you still may end up having to take the second part, but you got to pass it too. So if you take it online, sometimes you can get next day scores, but nothing's instant. Yeah. I'll tell Grandma. So, hey, Banks. You said hi. This is such good news to hear everyone passing. Yep, it is. It is so good. I don't know if the screen is freezing. It shouldn't. My internet was iffy yesterday, but that's when the storm front came through. But tonight it seems to be good. I hope. I'm sorry, Shell. I'll of course have it reposted on YouTube if it records tonight. Just you don't have to have as much notes as I do. Just please be sure to fix your out-of-code sequences. So the codes that are read throughout the entire book that say that the code is in a different location, please go find it and write down the page number where it's at. I write down the column number too, but you don't have to do that. At least write down the page number. That will save you a lot of time and tears during the middle of the exam. Writing down the one-word differences is super helpful. No shunt, with a shunt, then you just go to the question and look for the word shunt. That makes the difference, and that's it. Don't read the question, just word search what the differences are on the codes that are the possible answers. That'll save you from reading too much into the question and getting all the propaganda. I like to highlight what is in the parentheses if they happen to have it in any CPT code descriptor. Some of them don't have it. This one does. I still got to mark that one. So if it has one of those, AAPC has been using this as what their AKA terms are coming from. It will most definitely say a snare if they were using it in the exam. To capture whatever they're doing here. It's a type of, they would snare it like that, just grab it. So that is super helpful. Whatever's in those parentheses is awesome. Some codes don't have it, some codes do, but whatever's in those, that's what I highlight instead of what's after the semicolon. Fix your good gracious, my kid. Fix your anatomy. Be sure and write your prefixes and suffixes for your terms for that particular section. Like this is urinary. So I have all the prefixes, some suffixes, and some root words too down there. Super helpful. Y'all have to yell at me if the screen is not showing the pictures well enough. Tell me if my directions are off. You know, I love, this is how I start off a section, is going through and marking all the do nots and then putting the yellow to the what's in the parentheses. And then I'll go back after that and then write my differences. This is with removal. This is with control. This is with direct. Those kind of things. I know it looks easy because it's right there, but you'd be surprised how much time that saves by writing it right down at that code. You don't have to go in here and start reading and figuring out what the differences are. If you have that one word written right underneath the number, then you can just, you're already there because you're having to look up the numbers anyway. If you've got it written right there, it saves you time, and time is a killer in this exam, for sure. So, there's no book prep questions. I will put this over here, and y'all can get out your books. It doesn't matter if you have the 2021 or the 2022 CPT book for the practice questions we're about to do. It's fine, whichever ones. I do have a document in Etsy, if you want it, that will you can download. It's an instant download, and it'll have you put in 2022 codes in your 2021 book and turn it into a 2022 if you want it. I think so far they've been picking the new COVID diagnosis codes for the exam this year from 2022 book, and I have that listed on my website actually at medicalcodingbyjen.com. I have a blog post there that I just recently did. It has all those new COVID vaccines just listed for you, and for the CCS people, it has all the PCS codes for COVID listed too for you. And that's just free on the website. It's just one of the blogs. Get up the right document for our live. Yos. And we got some squirrels getting in all kinds of trouble, and rabbits. Sorry about my squeaky little crane, but it just seems to be the best one. Works. Yeah, I've got a document for that too on Etsy. You can instantly download it. It'll tell you what new codes to add in to your ICD-10 book. There's not as many as there normally is. Normally there's over 300. This year I think there's 100 throughout the book. It's not too bad, but you can go through and it'll actually tell you all of them that have been deleted on one section, so you can just go through and just go draw one line through all the ones that have been deleted. It doesn't matter really. I don't think that is, at least they won't be on the exam if they've already been deleted out of the CPT or the ICD-10 book, so that's okay. But you can write in the new codes, and those are listed in a section, and then I have the ones that have been revised and updated, and usually it's just a descriptor word or two. It's not that big of a deal, but as long as you have the new codes written in, that's all you need. And all you need is the diagnosis code number and one word difference, which will probably be the green font, that'll tell you the difference between that code and the ones around it that you're adding it to. So that's all you need, is this ICD-10 number and the difference. What makes that one so special? Oh, trying to talk today, but can't. Tripping all over the words. Look at y'all. I already know the answer is A. So, process of elimination. If we're going to do that, we'll get you just A and B, because these two are the same answer and they're the same numbers. They just want to know, can we add radiation to it or not? That's all they're doing. So a lot of the CPC exam is wanting to know, do you know how to use the book appropriately? And all the little arrows and things that they offer inside the book that say and give you hints on what you can use and what you can't use together. So the 6573, sorry, I'm slow to get to the page. What is that? On page 313 if you're in the 2022 book? Maybe somewhere around there? Nope. Yep. Nope. It's out of sequence. Gotta go find it. And so it's on 312, which isn't too far. And the only difference really between it and its parent is the age, which is great. But you can also look at your parentheticals down here to see if we're supposed to use a radiology code with it. And if you do look down, there's 3 parentheticals. So this one's pretty well hidden. If you go down to the do not, you can't use code 76937 with code 72 and 73. It just clearly states, and that's all they're testing you on this particular exam question. You don't have to go in here and read all these vessels and where they turned and what they did and how they use things. You don't need to know nothing at all other than run into that code and seeing if there's a do not. And that's what a lot of this exam is. You don't go in thinking that you're a coder and you're going to go in here and figure out by what veins and what area you're at, like venous or arterial, and what junction you're going to be at. You don't need to code these. They're already coded. You just need to be able to use the book to tell you what is the right answer. And without even reading one word on this question, you absolutely can, because they have a pattern of putting 2 answers together that are so similar, but there is a variation off of guidelines in the book to tell you what the answer is. They give the other 2 answers are just garbage and in the way and nowhere near related to the correct answer. And all this was to make sure that you found and know how to use that 3rd parenthetical down that says don't use this code with that one, and that's it. You didn't even have to read it. It could take you less than 10 seconds to do this question, and you can move on to your next one. There's also rationale that goes along with that. Tells you all this kind of stuff, but the squirrel's age does definitely play into this one. But the major thing, and the only thing that AAPC was concerned about, was, do you know how to use the book properly? So happy, Coral. That's it. That's all you got to do. You don't need to know. Did you see? You see that do not that's underneath the 36573 code? It's the 3rd parenthetical down. It says do not use. That's all you needed to do. For the next one, we're going to do the process of elimination. And again, we're not looking at everything behind. We're only looking at what's in front of us and what's the first set of codes. So somewhere along these lines, we're going to be doing something that is going to be super close to all of these. We've got, yep, I would think so too. Let's go see what our 36468 is. 36468 is where. All right, we're on page 306 of the 2022, right? 36468, yep. And our difference is these are doing spider veins of the limbs and trunk. Our procedure is called a blank therapy. This code says injection. Sclerotherapy. Sclerotherapy? 471. And how many did we do? Because our 6-8 other than the T word. Where are we at? I'm looking because the 7-1 is right underneath it, and the 70, they're like all beside each other, because these are just all beside each other. And I want to make sure we get the right one, because the only differences in these is a single, multi, and then we need to make sure we're either in the tele limb or we're not in the telelimb. So where are we at? Are we in a telelimb? That big old long T word. Which vessel are we in? Anything other than. We're doing a lot of the Venus. We're doing more than one. We've got yep. We've got multiple. I agree. 70 is for single incompetent veins. So you need to know what your differences are on these veins. That's cool. They're not using any ultrasound guidance, right? They're just injecting them. So we don't have to worry about that. That's not in the answers anyway. And they're all reported once per extremity. You can add ultrasound, which is a 7-6 if needed. The 6-5 is a foam compound. Sorry, just reading up the guidelines. I didn't know much about this one. Kind of neat. Kind of neat. Compression socks applied to the squirrel and monitored for 28 minutes. We got varicose veins, both posterior and anterior of the right lower extremity, that were injected with a poly whatever foam. So that is pretty cool. And then we had, yep. We had more reticular vessels. Yeah, I'm getting 71 on this one because it's multiple, not single. We have because we're not doing spider veins. These are also some reticular vessels, not just the varicose spider veins. We're also injecting vessels. Very cool. I didn't know they did that with the varicose veins. That's why they had to use the sedation, because they weren't doing just varicose veins. You can do that with just a topical, but they had to use anesthesia because they were doing vessels. And because they were doing, the sclerotherapy. We're under the 70 and the 71, and then the differences between the 70 and the 71 are just single and multiple. So, yep, it's 71. I like that one. All right, ER. ER, ER, ER. We can't do process of elimination with this one because we need to go see what our MDM and stuff is on these, because they're all back to back. We have a moderate complexity for MDM. Is there any? We've got expanded problem focused on history. That does not go with the MDM, right? Of moderate. So where is our 6-organ detailed exam? Detailed doesn't go with moderate either, right? So let's go to 992. I hate it when these doctors do not enough, even though they think their decision making was so difficult. But then their exam and the history that they took on the patient doesn't qualify for such a so complex problem. So you have to only give them what they did as far as the work to get there. 99282, where am I at? 99282. 828282. 53. There we go. So we've got 8, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So our differences are expanded problem. We need to find the only one that's going to match with this expanded problem focused history is the 3, which does have the moderate complexity, so that matches. What about the detailed? Detailed is up into the 04. But we can't give them 04 all the way around because their history was not detailed too, because their history was lower than their exam. We have to give them the 83. Does that make sense? Okay, so over here we have to meet all 3 components. And I did a TikTok on this today. I didn't realize I put this question on here. 3 of 3 means we have to meet the same criteria for the history, for the examination, and for the medical decision making. They can say this MDM is high all they want. They can come all the way down here and say it was super high and complex. But if you review their chart and they only went through 2 organ systems and barely looked at the body at all, then you have to go back down to what their examination is. You can't just take their word for it being a high decision-making thing when they clearly only examined a couple of organs. So it would either be an expanded problem focus because they got maybe 2 organs in there. You know, maybe you could squeeze in an expanded, but you ain't going to get nowhere near this high that they think that they're going to get. So our squirrel or our rabbit here says that they had a moderate complexity. So anything that has moderate is the 84 and the 83. Those both have moderate. But then they were detailed on their exam. Detailed is with the 84. They said that their history was only expanded, which is with the 83. And since we don't meet the criteria to give them a detailed history, we can only give them an expanded problem-focused history. We can't give them credit for their exam or the complexity of their MDM if it was anything different. But anyway, their code is going to be the 83. I hope that makes sense. You've got to match all 3 of 3. Some of those E&M codes do say that you can only have to match 2 of 3, which is great. If it did have that happen with this one, we could forego the expanded problem-focused history and give them credit for just the detailed and the moderate exam, and match it and give them that higher code. But these right here do say all 3 have to match. Yeah. Aw, thank you for the share of the live. What are we saying no to, Golden? Good job. But the answer for that one is definitely B. Yes, yes, yes. Yep, and code your lowest if you have to. Yep. Woo, already got 1,000 likes. Thank you, guys. So they do have some rationale here about the rabbit and his documentation and stuff like that. But usually I figure this stuff is pretty Greek. Doesn't make a lot of real sense in layman's terms that anybody could pick out. All right. Let's go see what these are about. We've got 99304, 05, and 06. So we're going to be under initial nursing facility care. So I'm on page 35 of the 2022 book. We have low complexity, moderate complexity, high complexity. 7 is under subsequent, and so is 8. So first thing we got to do is find out if this is the new patient essential or a subsequent visit. So let's see. See something about last week, right? For a follow-up. Yep. So that means just those 2 words. I get rid of all this new patient stuff and just keep the 7 and the 8. Now I just need to know what the differences are on those. One of them's a low complexity and one of them's straightforward medical decision making. So let's see if we got stuff that matches, and we do. We got a low that matches, and we got an expanded problem-focused history and detailed exam. The detailed does not match, right? If you look at this for the 08, we're supposed to have detailed or expanded, but you look at your thing, it says 2 of the 3 only have to match. Our expanded problem-focused history right there does match, and then our MDM of low complexity does match. So I have 2 that match here with the 08, so I can give them the 08. And that's one of the new codes, I believe, right? That's why it's got a star for this year. Yep, 08 is the right answer. If you don't have those codes in your 2021 book, here's you a screenshot you can tap on the screen and I think swipe right and it'll get rid of the chat, and then you can do a screenshot of this if you want to. This page you can add to the bottom of one of the pages coming up right after this. Had a spot right on the bottom, right underneath. It wasn't very far, but I think it was on the next page. But that's super helpful because these codes are brand new for this year. It's still confusing. It takes some time to learn and to look at it a couple of times to see. I mean, like 10 times to see. So there are 3 components to every office visit. And it's just taking the patient's history, doing an examination on the patient, and then deciding how to treat the patient. Some patients are super easy. They have a sore throat and they're good to go. Some patients have diabetes and COPD and renal failure, and everything you do to them, every little suggestion you give them affects one of those diseases. So you have to do a lot of thinking before you say anything to them about what to use, even over-the-counter stuff, because it can affect their blood sugar or kidney failure or whatever. Some of them on Coumadin therapy, there's a whole list of things they can't eat and take because they're on Coumadin, just a blood thinner. So your medical decision making goes up, up, up. But if they're just there for a sore throat or a fractured leg, you're only dealing with one body organ, one issue, one thing that you can, you got to fix the bone. It's not that hard of a decision to make. You just got to go do it. So that's all. And some of the codes, you have to meet all 3 of the components, meaning they have to make sure they do enough to get to an expanded problem-focused history. They have to ask enough questions and see enough body parts to get to expanded problem-focused examination. And then their decision-making for whatever issues the patient has needs to meet the same criteria for low, moderate, or high. If it's high, they're usually circling the drain and about to die on you. So we don't use it very often. Most of the differences are between moderate and low. But the CPT code descriptors will tell you whether you need to meet 2 of 3 of these, or if you need to meet 3 of 3 like we were doing earlier. So when we look at this patient's chart, or the question for the exam, my camera does not like to go back to computer looking when I've been on the book. Okay. All I'm looking for is the word history. The first one is expanded problem focused. So I just go to my 7 and 8, which are my only 2 leftover answers, and look for the word history and see which one says expanded problem focused. And it's this one. So good, okay, that matches. Then I'll go to my question and look for the examination. Examination is right there and it's detailed. Does detailed match? No. Detailed must be somewhere else. So we go over here. Detailed is somewhere else, but that's not even an option for our exam. But that's okay because we're only meeting 2 of 3, so I can get rid of that one. But if my MDM, which is down here, and it's low, and that's my MDM, that matches with this one. This one, its MDM is straightforward. So we're only matching nothing up here and at least 2 right here. So we know our answer is 08. Anyway, I hope that's helpful. Yeah, star means the new New telehealth medicine. Okay. We can use that as a phone call in. Yay, perfectly. So happy. That's good. Okay, Coral. Good. Glad that's helpful. It gets a little harder when we don't have any info in the questions on the history, the exam, or the MDM. They just tell us a diagnosis or what they did for the patient. When they do that, we have to figure out what to bill the office visit based off that. And that's where that chart comes in handy for, it's on 15, 16 in the 2021 book, or 17 and 18 in the 2022 book. And the chart is really overwhelming and a pain in the butt, but that's where that comes in. If we're not given a time and we're not given MDM and what type of exam or what type of history they took, we're only told that they did prescription drug management on the patient and refilled their meds. They'll come back in 3 months. Then we're supposed to know that we can bill them a 99204 or a 14 just based off that word. That's it. And you find that in that chart right there. And then another situation would be like if we had a patient with COPD who's got an exacerbation of her COPD today, and she came in with trouble breathing, and we gave her some Lasix and a breathing treatment, and she's all better. We send her home, but we want her to follow up in 2 weeks. That too would also be in the 214, and you find that in the chart. These are things that I do go over in the lives, and I show you, and it's better when we have practice questions like this one that I can show you exactly where it is in the book and where it is in the question to show you that. But for today, if you learned a little bit about doing this type of question where you are given the history, examination, and the MDM, and it made sense, you rocking it, because that takes a long time. I refused to learn E&M when I took my CPC exam. It was just too confusing. I didn't want to learn it. And I didn't want to learn MOS, and integumentary. And when I got to my exam, I didn't know about putting all the page numbers down besides all the codes that were out of sequence. So when I was taking the exam, I had to guess completely on the lab and path sections and medicine because I couldn't find any codes at all out of all the answers because they were all out of sequence. So there was 4 sections there that I just completely refused to learn anything about it because it was just too hard at the time. And I still passed, but it just tells you that you don't have to learn everything. Don't stress yourself out. It's going to be okay if you do the process of elimination and work with me on the other sections. You're going to be okay. But I can definitely teach you more about coding than any one of those online self-guided courses can do, for sure. Could you please explain the ED code again? The ER one? Yep. Right here. All right. Let's go to 99282. So where is that again? 99282. Okay. And they're saying we can go all the way down to 99285. So what I would do is just start at the top with your first code in the first numerical sequence because you'll be going forward in the book from there. So I would start with my history. Just like with that other patient with the rabbit, I need to go find the word history. So I'm doing just a word search, only looking for the word history. And I find out what they said the history was. Sorry, I can't draw a straight line. So they're saying expanded problem focused. So I would start at 82 and go look for the words that say expanded problem focused. Right there. So I'm getting 82, right? Expanded problem focused history matches with expanded problem focused history. So that eliminates 82 and gets me at 83. Now I'm going to go find my examination. My exam was detailed. So I'm going to go back to my 82. Was that detailed exam? No. It's over here. It's not even there at the 83. It's at the 84 was a detailed exam. But I know that I can't bill the detailed examination with a history that's way back here at 82, which is expanded problem focused, because I have to meet 3 of 3 criteria. If the history isn't detailed and it's only expanded, I can't go to the 84. So it doesn't matter that he did a detailed examination. He could look at the patient from head to toe and order 40 billion tests and look internally, externally, and everything. But if he only gathered just a little bit of history on the patient, he can only bill a little bit of a code for the visit. Hold on one second. Get off. You. Shh. You're distracting me. Turn the light. Kids are getting rowdy. Kids are getting rowdy. Okay. So now I'm going to go look at my MDM just to verify that I'm still at the right level with that 82. So my MDM was moderate. My 84 is moderate. My 83 is moderate. 3, 4, and 2 is moderate. My 83 is moderate too. It also has the expanded problem focus history, just like the 82. The expanded problem focused examination is smaller than our detailed, but that's okay. It's included in there. Basically, right? You do an expanded problem focused, you do a little bit more and you get to detailed. But we can only do what's on these and what's matching. So we've got expanded problem history, which is both in the 82 and the 83. We've got moderate MDM, which is in the 84 and the 83. The only thing that's in question is the detailed exam, which detailed is down here in 84, but we don't have the history to be able to code that one. So we have to go back up to the 83 so that we have all 3 matching, because we have to have 3 of 3. Lord help, I don't know if that helped at all, but these ERs, it's freezing a bit. Okay. I don't know if it's me wagging my computer around. Oh, thank you for the roses and the hearts. Those are cool. I don't know if it's my internet or if it's too cold here or if it's me swinging my computer around. But let's see. Let's see if I can just not switch my thing around. I've got a detailed exam. I got the moderate MDM. It's not really dark enough, but let's go with here. Okay, MDM equals moderate. So our codes that equal moderate are 84 and 83, right? Our exam is detailed. Detailed equals our codes 84, right? Our expanded problem-focused history, this is the exam. Our history equals EPF, which is only 83 and 82. So we've got an 83 here matching and an 83 here matching. The only one that doesn't match is our exam, which is detailed, but an 83 is just like a parent and child code. Whatever came before 84, is like included. To get to detailed, we have to skip past a problem-focused exam. We have to skip past an expanded problem-focused exam just to get to a detailed exam. That detailed exam has in it an expanded problem-focused and a problem-focused exam already inside of it with a little bit more. So the 83 is included in this, right? So is the 82. So if you're matching 3 out of 3, you could do it that way. Then you've got all 3 in the 83 code. If that makes sense, maybe. Some people like to see numbers. But we've got expanded problem history, the exam is detailed, and the MDM is moderate. And our moderates are in the 84 and the 83. 84 and 83. Not the 82. 84. Oh yeah, the 84 is up here. I'm doing the history. I got it backwards. I'm going to start second guessing myself and make it all wrong. But anyway, I hope that helps. All right. Makes a lot more sense. All right, I hope so. Good gracious. It's freezing when you type. It's okay on my end. Thanks, Jen. 83 expanded. I just took the AAPC quiz, Michelle, and used your method of getting rid of the answers that doesn't look match work. It's getting rid of the answers that doesn't look match works. Oh, good. Michelle, I hope it did work. It's not 100%. You're going to find 1 or 2 questions per 50 that you might have to go back, like my other one here. If we did the process of elimination on this one right here, it would get you down to just 68 and 68, and then we would look at the diagnoses for the differences, right? But because these codes, the 70 and the 71, are right underneath the 68, they're all 3 together. I took a gander to see what was going on, and we found out that B was going to be our answer. So 1% of the time, you're going to find that if it doesn't match,
it doesn't match. It's you're going to have to go back and look at one of the ones that you threw away. But yes, the process of elimination 99% of the time absolutely helps 100%. It's not always something option that you can use for E and M either. So you got to watch out for that. But other than that, integumentary, cardiology, musculoskeletal, all the way through, even radiology and medicine, all of those sections it works really well in, and it really helps to get rid of the propaganda and get you focused on just what are they asking? What part of the book are they asking me a question on? Look at this one. We got down to the 7 and 8 because they're both sequel visits, the subsequent visits. So then we only needed to do is decide which method, 07 or 08 we needed to do. So super helpful most of the time. Process of elimination. I love it. Yeah, you can make sense out of all the stuff that's in front of you. It doesn't make a lot of sense when you have all these numbers and things staring at you. Well, let's talk some more confusion. I threw some lab and path in here that is just not easy at all. Process of elimination. What can we get rid of here, probably? What do you guys think? Good job, Tiffany. So 8, 8, 3. Yeah, I think we could be okay with getting rid of A too. Examine under the microscope, and a lot of times it's not the body part. It could be something inside the body part they want you to examine. So you got to be careful, and you actually get to do word searches in the CPT book. Oops. Whew. Just had to take the hoverboards away. They were banging up the house. Sorry about that, guys. Hey, Darcy's mom. How's it going? All right, so we need to go look in our questions, see what we're doing. What are we getting? What are they wanting us to look at? They removed a whole organ during a colectomy. And want us to look at it and see what we see. So what did they remove? They removed a gallbladder, right? So you do a word search for your gallbladder in the 302 and the 304, which is on page 689. And if you find gallbladder, then there you go. It tells you your answer is C. Super helpful. Yep. Easy peasy. Here's another one. Same thing. See if I can get this to focus. What you doing? Come on, focus, 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 focus. There we go. These are all over the place. What are they asking us? I like to let's look at the last sentence. What code does the pathologist report? So they're not asking us to code the surgery or anything else. They're only asking us to code what the pathology report would be. Which of these codes is something that a pathologist would report on? Is it the 304 or what's the 83239? Where is that? 883229. That's a consult during surgery. We didn't go into the surgery room with them. We didn't do any kind of touch pap or anything like that. Nope, 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 nope. 48 is immuno for a gallbladder. We didn't do anything. We didn't do nothing but the same thing that we did in the last question, which is examination of the gallbladder. That's it. Hey, Mom, how's it going? This one would have been the same answer as what was done up above. All we did was the same exact thing. They had a colonoscopy. They wanted us to do a pathology report on it. That was it. The next question is the same thing. They put a bunch of crap all in it. They sent us a gallbladder, and then they added a bunch of propaganda into it to confuse you, but all we did was the same thing, microscopic examination of a gallbladder. That's it. Why are you here talking near my door? No one's around. Go away. Stop jumping and climbing over that. Stop. James, you got garbage on your desk. Please throw it away. Your plate? Okay. Sorry. Them boys are just going to be all fired up now. This was just a fancy way of showing the same question in two different ways. Sorry, trying to get the glare out of here. It's the same question, two different ways. They can make it super big and confusing, or they can make it super short. We've got nothing really, this is the teens, the 20s, the 30s, the 40s. It's crazy. But if you just know that you're doing a gallbladder again, gallbladder's always going to be your 04. That's all they wanted. Just trying to confuse you. It says all the same words as the one above it. So don't let them throw you off. You ain't doing nothing special just because they wrote a bunch of fancy words on it. It's the same thing. Thanks, Al. I hope that helps. Don't think it's something special. All right, here's anatomy. Where is an IOL? Where are we at? MK's matching up the L with ligation. Mean is saying it's a cataract surgery. So's Al. Betty's just going to throw the answer right in there. As intraocular lens. Yes, if you don't know your abbreviations, be sure you know them. If you don't know that this is intraocular intraocular lens. Be sure and write it in at the back of your book. The CPT book has a thingy back here on the, well, if you get it from the AMA and from where I get mine, it's got this long thing right there in the very back with all the abbreviations. If IOL is not there, oh, is it not there? They should write that one in there. They got IUD in there. Okay, IOL is not in there. That's another one you need to add with your JVD. And your IVA, be sure and write IOL back there. No worries, Betty. It ain't your fault. You did great. Love it. It saved me from having to pronounce it correctly. That was perfect. She's my helper. She is helping me. In fact, she helped me with these questions for tonight. Betty is Gold Star member. She is helping me out with some of the tasks that I need to do. There's your rationale about it being intraocular, so you can spell it, lens. My mom just had 2 of these put in. There you go. There's the spelling. The last word is just lens, intraocular. JVD and IVA are some of the other ones, and I think I have one more I need to add too, and I've forgotten what it is that I need to add. I think I have one more. I've got JVD, which is jugular vein distension. I've got IVA, intravenous access, IOL. It's like they go through this book and see what we don't have. I know that's exactly what they do. Yep, jugular vein distension. And IVA, intravenous access for an IV. There was one more I have written down somewhere. I'm like, where's my book? I have this, I'm supposed to be keeping up with it on this calendar thing that Betty set up for me too. But when I run into things like this in the middle of my live, I can't have access to my phone, so I try to write it down on a notebook, and then I'm like, okay, where did the notebook go? Oh yeah, it's behind my CPT book. That's where it is. So let's see. I saw it in here the other day as I was thumbing through it. See if I see it while I'm sitting here thinking about it. Christy is taking her exam this Saturday. I'm hoping to get with her again tomorrow to help her out with some questions. Practice some questions. Goodness. Got notes about that too. Of course, I don't say it. JVD, jugular, CRNA, the MAC. Yep, we know about all those. DE instead of DC. We have dilate and curate. There is a dilate and evacuate. Be sure you know the differences in those. I wonder how Jennifer did. Did Jennifer? There was another Jennifer Lynn that was supposed to be taking her exam. Here I am going through my notes going, where'd she go? Teresa, she pushed hers off till March. Irma? She was supposed to take hers in January 10th. I wonder if we heard about hers. Shell. We know about Beth. She did great. She passed. Paris passed too. Andrea, Joanne has the 2 cats. I think that's it. I don't see where I have notes of something else. I thought there was something else, but of course, I'll see it when I'm not on the live. But I don't see it. I don't see what I was talking about. So that's good. At least I don't find it. Intraocular lens. Yep. Yep. ARDS. Yep. We've got that one. ORIF. Yep. That's the fracture. To reduce a fracture. Thanks, Shell. And ARDS. Well, I'll just write all these down then. Make sure we get them put up. IVA. Intravenous access. Open reduction and internal fixation. Yes. Heart failure. Yep, to reduce ejection fractions. Y'all know them all. Bells is doing hers March 26th. Hey, Kim. Good to see you. I've got another one here. Which vessel is in the 3rd branch of the celiac trunk? Anybody want to join in on this one? Carmen, yours is Friday. Got Christy is going to take hers on Saturday. She had to do the whole hotel thing because the testing facility is so far away from the house. Usually if the CPC exam question has a reduced fracture that needs the internal fixation, it'll actually use those abbreviations ORIF in the question, so you can pick that out pretty easily. It's usually an anesthesia question. And I have the ORIF written down beside the particular anesthesia code so that I know it right off the bat when I open up that section. Let's see, I wonder, do I have it listed in this one? Yeah, that's CPT code 01830. That's for anesthesia. That's where I put the ORIF abbreviation next to, because that's the one they always pick in the exam. All right. Third branch of the celiac trunk. What would you do besides Google? Because you can't do that during the exam. If you can't find and you don't know the answer to this question, what would you do? Yep. Yes, Tiffany did pass, for sure. Yep, look at Appendix L. Very good. You don't have to know where all these vessels go into, what branch they are, where they're located. They just want to know that you can go and use the resources in the book to find the answer, and that would be Appendix L. It's in the back of your book. They tell you where all the branches are at. You would just go to the third order branch and make sure you understand and just do a word search down till you find the gastro is your third branch. ORIF, it's a fracture, and if they use that one on the CPC exam, it goes with that CPT code right there. That's all. It's just an open, reduced fracture, and they use an internal fixation to fix the fracture. Surgery. Just be sure you know the abbreviation, what it stands for, and if you were going to use that in the exam, it's probably going to be tied to anesthesia, because that's where I've seen that question so many times. Yep. All right, diagnoses. So what are they telling you when you see diagnoses like this, where there's two S's in front or there's two M's in front? What do you think their question is going to be about? Because the second word code is the same throughout all of them. So, yeah, are we dealing with an injury? Very good, MK, or not? So, when you're looking at these questions, we might not be able to do the process of elimination, but we can see clearly that if we go look in the question, all we need to know is, are they here for an injury that just happened today, that we're dealing with an issue because of that? And if so, we know the S code will go first and we can eliminate all the M codes, and that'll help us with the process of elimination for sure. Then all we'd have to do is look up the two differences between whatever. Yep, so let's go check out. What have we got going on? Mr. John, he did slip and fell on the ice. So that tells me we can get rid of the M codes because we know our external causes are the S and T codes. So then all I have to do is look up the difference between those two right there and see what my difference is. That helps out a whole bunch. So he has a right rotator cuff tear. Probably, right? Yep, tear. 30 more minutes. 30 more minutes. So our differences, twirl my books around here and get that ICD-10 book around. S46. Thank you, Twinkle. Oh, she's my other helper. My other helper. Along with Auntie CC, who should be out partying, passing her exam. 46. Ooh, I'm slow at getting at these codes. 001 is unspecified. Ugh. And 011 is not an unspecified code. I don't even try to read those because a lot of times they don't even pick those as the right answer. 11 is a strained muscle or tendon in the rotator cuff of the right shoulder. What you think about that? Do they use unspecified codes as answers in the CPC exam? Nope. I haven't seen one yet. So just seeing that this said unspecified already told me what I needed to know, that I knew that D was going to be the answer, if that makes sense, right? Because 01, just like with the CPT codes, when they say unspecified, they generally don't use those. So the the 11 right here is actual real diagnosis without an unspecified. So of the two, not knowing anything, I would always pick the one that is not unspecified. Anything that says unspecified, they don't really like to pick on. That's just my observations. Not saying it's 100% true, but I'm sitting here, been thinking about it for 2 weeks now, going, they haven't been using those. They might be as a possible answer, but they never pick it as a right answer. So I'm still auditing it, but I still haven't found one. Either whether it's a CPT code that's unspecified or it's a diagnosis. They're just not picking them. They're picking the ones that are specified. Yes. Injury, you get the external cause first, if that's what they're being seen for today. Now, they might have had that. It does say that he did have it like a Thursday, and it might be Friday. Who knows what day of the week it is? You got to be careful with that. Like if they were here today to be seen for the 3-month follow-up on their blood pressure, but oh yeah, by the way, we had a fall on the ice the other day and was seen in the ER, they might go on and refer him to ortho, but really what he's being seen for today is follow-up on his blood pressure, and you would diagnose that first, right? But if this is an MRI being done because of the rotator cuff injury, absolutely, it's because of an injury, which is coded first. So just be careful about the specifics. Yep, the chief complaint. Yep. And they got a mountain of rationale that makes no sense, but it's all there. Ton of garbage that you don't have time to do. You will not have time to index or go to any tabular list. That's just fluff that you will never have time to do. Not at 26 questions per hour. You ain't got time to do none of that. All right, ABNs. When should a Mr. Rabbit have a squirrel sign an ABN? I don't like the words is excluded because that's a definite. I'll always love the maybe because everything is usually maybe something. And then this is just is or is. They're still definites, right? They're like, it is to be signed. It is to be signed. I don't know. I guess this one says it too, but when services are covered, heck no, we don't make them signed. And then sign when treating squirrel requires an emergency service. No, you can't be unconscious and we make you sign paperwork saying you promised to pay. If it's an emergency, we don't make you sign nothing. So, yeah, that excluded word gets rid of this one. Covered gets rid of this one. Emergency gets rid of that one. The only one that could be is our maybe. Maybe this, maybe a little of that. Who knows? Love our maybes. Love, love, love. I do not have a cat. Good to see you again. I've seen your name before. I got a cat. Y'all should see this really cool picture I got of her the other day. I can't ever get my phone open. Jeez. Tell you, she is an unusual looking kitty cat. She looks more like a fox than anything else. Isn't she beautiful? She is one interesting colored up kitty cat. She has got some good camouflage going on. She is purty. That is Magpie. She's got the sweetest little chirp. Chirp, chirp, chirp. But again, we got Mary from this week who passed. We got Keisha who passed. We got Cynthia that passed. Just sitting here looking at my phone and I got all these passes. I got Miss Shauna passed today. And who is this one? Got one more from today. Who was that? I gotta get on my Discord because I keep forgetting who's who. Samantha, yeah. That was Samantha's score. Yeah. So cool. And if y'all are not on Discord, this thing is super cool. I know it's crazy to download this Discord app, but it looks like Mickey Mouse britches, but you should join. This is all free. I've set up for you guys.
Mommy,
what, child?
When you get done with your live?
Yes, when I get done with my live.
Can I please have my school candy earbuds back?
No. I'm not giving you back your earbuds. You got headphones out there, baby. They're better for your ears. As soon as you put on earbuds, you got a 65% increase of bacteria in your ears. Sorry.
You let James.
And I have them back.
He has them out there. He's using them.
Goodbye, baby. He can't hear anyway. He's deaf. Oh, it's terrible having a mother in the medical field, right? So you get to this Discord and you download Friend Me, and I will add you to our group or give you the link. This is our main chat room where we talk and have conversations. When you get there, you just click on that hashtag. But then when you want to go back and see all the rooms, you click on the little 3 icons right there. And your messages, like I got Betty talking to me right there, are over here on this side. And then all of our rooms are underneath that information. The plus tag, you can get rid of it if you wanted to, or you leave it open. But that's where our practice rooms are for all of our practice questions. Like I just shared that one tonight. And I can put, yep, B is the answer. but we share our little questions in here for sure. And we've also got a room for the risk for CCS, CCA that Janet helps in all the time. COC. Auditor is in here. You can get your books sold. You can do your med terms, which are super cool. You can see pictures of my books and pages that I've done and what they look like for hip tips and stuff. Even ICD-10 are like that. The anatomy's like that. Got all my anatomy pictures in here of what I've been doing for the books. Y'all can just copy away. Just please don't share them across the internet. Leave them here. We've got job placement. If you're looking for remote jobs, if we see any, we post them here. CEU opportunities to get your continuing education. Got it all in here for free. It's super cool. My website, Medical Coding by Jen, I posted my book prep videos in there, which is kind of cool. There's the blogs I was talking about with the ICD-10 diagnosis codes for COVID that were on the exam recently. That's the blog for that. Over here under members only, which is all free, but you can go to the video book prep, and I have posted my video there of doing the digestive system. It's there instead of on YouTube because it's page by page of the book and code by code. I'll put the one that I did last night on here too. And then I've got all the resources. The Discord app is here. The CPT book prep is here. It's really cool. You just click on the page and then it'll tell you what I'm doing and why I'm doing it right here to the side. And then you can scoochie on over to the next picture and find out what I'm doing and then why I fix it. But that's all at my little old website that I've been working on. Put up a new homepage this weekend. So I liked it. I liked the new homepage. I thought it was kind of cool. But hopefully it'll help out more people for sure. Oh, if you wanted to schedule tutoring, that's here too. Book that online. That's all here. And then all of our resources for where we are on YouTube, on TikTok, on whatever. There's the hours for the TikTok streaming. Although it's not mountain, I keep changing that to say Arizona time zone, but it keeps turning back to MST because I'm not Mountain Standard Time. Drives me nuts every time I try to fix that. And that's where I am right there. See, right there with the pictures. Let's see. And then I've got the Discord too, where you can find all those rooms and stuff where everybody's at. That's where that link is right there. So hopefully that's helpful. Where else am I? Social media links. Yep, those show up too. Things I'm working on is a million of things. A million. Even an Excel sheet with all the CPT codes for so that I can list out the one-word differences between those. Maybe that can be helpful for somebody during the exam. They could have just a list of all the CPT codes and then go through the book and write down that one word difference right next to the CPT code. So I'm working on that, but I got to finish this CPT book for sure. I'm working on digestion right now. Friday will be the next live where I do practice questions. But I'll have a bunch of lives in between then where I'm doing the book prep and answering questions. So yeah, right now working on the digestion system to help out. Write down our one little word differences, plus tell you a little bit about what's going on, some of the procedures that can be helpful. Got a couple of little more things I want to write on this, but mostly this section's done right there. And then just got to keep going throughout the book. I've got it all prepped as far as the yellows and the reds Just got to come back through and finish marking up the codes. And then we'll, the website is medicalcodingbyjen.com. It's the same thing as here as on TikTok, what it says right there, Medical Coding by Jen. And the website is just a .com, medicalcodingbyjen.com. Yep. I'm trying to find a place like not that. This one, no, that's not it. That's Patreon. This one right here. This is the place where you can have, I just don't know what to buy because I'm like, what do I do here? Because this will let you create tests and exams that are instantly graded, and I could put that on my website too, but would we go through 12,000 graded exams per year? I would think so. That's 12 months, 1,000 exams per month. If I have 400 people in Discord and they all came over here to practice an exam and they needed it graded. But see, the weird thing is it grades after every question. So I can build it to where you do the question and you get the answer instantly. And then it tells you the rationale, whether you got it right or wrong. Gives you the rationale. So I don't know what these credits means, but it seems like for $80 a month, I'd need more than 1,000 exams a month. So I don't know if I need to buy that or if I just create my own exams in the website somehow or another. But I hate having them just on Word documents because that's kind of boring. I'd really like to be able to do them interactively. But anyway, I'm still trying to figure that out. See if I can do that. My tutoring hours and everything are on the website. Medical Coding by Jen. Where did I put that? Yep. And you can book online there. Just go in there. And I want to do, I don't know, something. But I already do 2 hours free 3 times a week. I don't know what benefit it would be to do a group one where, because some of those people do like a workshop. And I don't know if we'd want to set aside one workshop a month, a day, like Saturdays or something, and do 4 hours, or a Sunday, or I don't know what, and would want to do a workshop where it's like, I don't know, $5 per person, and then we do a group one. But that's the same thing as what I'm doing here, so I don't know if there would be any benefit to that. And what do they do specifically in the workshop that makes it worth paying? I've seen them as much as $150, which is outrageous, per person. What would we do? I'm already doing that, right? We're practicing questions and stuff, but I don't know. Anyway, planning a bunch of stuff, but I don't know if any of it would be helpful. I'm hoping so, but I kind of like having everything else free because I've got the CPT book prep, all the videos free, my 6 hours a week, all that stuff, the Tiki Talks, the YouTube videos, the book prep videos, the blogs, and then, of course, I got the stuff that's on Etsy, which is just page by page of what's on my books. If you wanted to just print it out and copy it page by page, you can get those off of Etsy. But that and the one-on-one tutoring is the only thing I charge for, and I don't know what we would do, why it would make a big difference. Y'all would all like that as a workshop, one-on-one? You got a one-on-one with me Saturday? Yay! 15 more minutes. Yay. Would the workshops be like let's just do E&M one day? 50 questions. Let's do a workshop and just do every scenario there is known to man with E&M and that's it for that day. I think that would be better as far as a workshop than doing 3 sections at a time like I try to do in my TikTok lives. Maybe we could do something like that. I don't know. It's great. I love the TikToks and the fact that they get posted on YouTube. I do have 3 of the raffles. Now, the person that said they wanted to give back and buy one of the a tutoring hour. I haven't seen them book the tutoring hour yet, but we've had some sales on that. Let me get to Etsy. What is on the exam the last 45 days? I think last weekend, one of my lives, I don't know what happened, but I had a couple people all of a sudden buy that section. So I do have money in that area ready for being able to be ready. I sold a couple of those, so I've got $50 for that already. So I can do that raffle at any time. And I think I have 4 people that sent me an email with raffle in it. That's my guy who's helping me with the website design and build. I have a meeting with him on Tuesday next week. Go back. Oh, no. I just want to go look at my emails. Where's the regular emails? But I think I've got 4 or 5 people that tried to enter. I was just kind of waiting for that person who said they wanted to buy the hour to do it, and I haven't seen that yet. So I just haven't moved on it, so I need to do that. But I sold 2 of those things right here, which are part of that. I give out free sections of my notes or give out free hours in the tutoring, so I can do that. This is the thing where if you want to add all the new diagnosis codes or the CPT codes, this one is for the this is the ICD-10 one. Yeah, I thought so. And then I've got one for the CPT codes to your 2021 books to turn them into a 2022. That's what those are. And then, of course, I got the eyes, the ears, the lungs, the urinary, the integumentary. Yep, all ready for you. And anesthesia. But I got to get started with this digestion and get it done and get it posted for sure. But to participate in the raffle, to answer your question in a roundabout kind of way, just go to my TikTok main page right here. This one right here, right after the live, and click on that email right there and just email me with the header. Put in there raffle as the header so that I put you in with the other emails so I don't lose you in the sea of emails that I get every day. And I will put you in there. Today I got fussed out for my camera angles, man. And I really need to address all the problems at once with my angles on my camera views of the CPT book. And it's true, I've been trying to not show too much of it because I don't want to get in trouble for it, but anyway. I'm a little blue about getting yelled at today. E&M, and then Saturday of PATH. E&M has more questions on the exam. That's right, yeah, because E&M, you have your 6 regular questions for your exam, and then the cases at the end are mostly, I believe 8 out of the 10 questions for those are E&M at least. So you're talking 14 questions to 16 questions could be all E&M. And the people that did tutoring with me, like Wendy and Cynthia, they both got 100 on E&M, but we did, I think, 2 tutorings each. One of them was all E&M, then the other tutoring was all the other sections, and they scored way on up there, so that was great. So I think a workshop just on E&M would be great. And even at $5 a person, that still is more than enough for me to concentrate some time for E&M. I just don't know how long to do it. Would it need to be 4 hours? Probably, because as much as I rattle on, right? Because I can easily do my 1 hour tutoring that's supposed to be 1 hour tutoring. I do an hour of prep time, and then I end up doing 2 hours with the person most of the time. So I'm spending 3 hours just on everybody's individual tutoring when it should be just 1 hour. So I'm going to rattle on. Good. I'm so glad they're helpful. Those notes or taco aren't going to be as good as this year's notes when I get to cardiology. I can't wait, but they are helpful, and they helped so many people last year. The cardiology, I just haven't done the 2022 version yet, and I got more ideas to put into the 2022 cardio version. And if you bought the 2021 version of my notes and want to upgrade to the 2022 ones, just email me or talk to me somehow or another. Find me, and I can give you the credit and just have you pay the difference. So, like, I don't know, let's see, anesthesia was $13.50 last year or whatever. This year it's $21, so I'd give you, and you don't have to pay like $6 for it to do the upgrade, something like that. So anyway, don't think that you have to buy out both years if you just want to upgrade. So yeah. Do they want us to audit E&M? What do you mean? Yeah, it would be cheaper, and we could do a group. It's just, and we could all do Zoom so everybody can talk, and y'all can talk to me, and instead of having to type out and me catching what you're saying, I can actually hear you say what you mean, because there's a difference between reading a text and understanding the language versus hearing it and understanding it. There's a difference. So that would be cool. It's just, I want to make sure I don't get too many people in there, and then people don't get to ask questions. I don't know. I don't know. How would we handle everybody asking questions? I want to make sure nobody gets drowned out, too. You need the 2021 book prep. That's okay. It's all there. The 2021 is still all up. I didn't take it all down, so the 2021 is there. And even if you buy the 2022 notes, you can still add those to the 2021 book. Plus, it gives you the list of the new codes that are there for the section, so you can write those in. So it's really a benefit to get the 2022 ones if you still have the 2021 books, too. Take a poll. Yep. Max 5 people. Yep, I got Zoom. I would use Zoom because I just paid for that for a year. I bought, I think it's like just a little under $200 for a whole year of Zoom. So we'll do that. You think your word framing is out of sex? Oh, gosh. Have you heard me talk, MK? I can't talk half the time. And most of the time I say something wrong. I hate listening to my repeat lives because I'm like, oh, you got that code number wrong. Or I said it like it was a 22 instead of a 20. I get dyslexic with all my stuff. And my goodness, if you can listen to me and the way I talk and my pronunciation and my poor grammar, you can speak up. Now, in the Zoom call, you can have the option to just type your chat too, if you wanted to. You could type your question in, but you could also talk during the Zoom call too, if you wanted to. So that's okay. You can do both. All right. Twinkle is saying it is time, and I have rattled on enough. I will do another one of these on Friday. I'll set up a event like I did today. Let's hope that this records. Please, TikTok gods, please let this record so that I can post this on YouTube. I have one to download from last night when I was doing all of this mess that y'all can watch, and I'll post it on my website, medicalcodingbyjen.com, and y'all can view it there. And then tonight's repeat live will be on YouTube. So I hope that's helpful. And of course, I will see everybody in Discord, and I will try to plan out something for a E&M workshop. That sounds good. What's going on this weekend besides a lot of people taking their exam? I have tutoring, I think, right? I have 2 tutorings this Saturday already. Miss Isabel and Trinessa. Maybe we could make it a Sunday, because I get wore out after those, because that's 4 hours I do with those. Maybe we could do a Sunday workshop. Anybody opposed to a Sunday workshop afternoon? Like, everybody could go to church and then do one in the afternoon, maybe? Good. Thank you, Shell. You're not sure how? Let's see. On Discord, there's a couple of ways. Some people friend me and ask to be my friend, and then I add them in and send them a link once I friend them. But there's also this number, 6243. It's a server number. You can enter that in and be connected straight to the server if you know that number. I've created this site, but I never joined another person's server, so I haven't went anywhere to figure that out yet. But maybe somebody in chat can help out. I also have the links to Discord and how to join on my website. So just go to Medical Coding by Jen, join, go to Discord on the drop-down menu, because all you got to do is join to be a member. There's no fee or anything. But just be a member and go to the Discord tab, and it takes you straight to the thingy. I think you can just click on that. It'll take you right there. You're very welcome. Y'all are all welcome. And my Discord name is just still the same thing as TikTok, same thing as YouTube, same thing as Facebook. Everything is Medical Coding by Jen. Didn't mean to be so narcissistic with the name. I don't know. I was just not very imaginative is why it's that. I'm Jen, and I'm helping you pass the medical coding exam. I'm no expert by any means, but anyway, I wasn't clever enough to think of a name like Coding Clinic or something. I don't know. It's me, and I'm doing medical coding. Friday, you're down. Sundays are good. Okay, or Saturday. After 2. I'm usually the last one because being an Arizona time zone, it's only 8 o'clock here. Yep. your Mac won't let you download the Discord app. That's so weird. We can download it right here on our Windows. You just click this little thing right here and go to the Windows store and download Discord, and it does it. Cell phone too. Got it on both. Yeah, how would I cut it off? I don't know. You can view Discord on Safari. Go to discord.com. It's crazy because all the gamers, all the gamer guys, use Discord all the time, like Twitch and Discord and stuff. Anyway, I hope you find us. It's really, really worth it. Even if you've got an old tablet, an old Chromebook laying around, an old cell phone, anything that might be Android related, it's not a difficult or a big file to download. It would be so worth it to try to find Discord and get in here, because just the exam day prep alone to tell you what to bring, what to have, all your questions, it's really cool little rooms we've set up, and so much help with the midterms, and every little section, everything's organized where it should be, and it's all instantly available and free. Ooh, somebody's sharing. Oh, that's mine. I was sharing how to deal with those notes, those crazy notes I typed up. The ones for the guidelines. Like, okay, I've got this document, Jennifer. What do I do with this thing? Not that one. That one's the E&M. This one right here, the guidelines, because the guidelines on one side of the paper, and then I have examples on the other side of the paper of what do you do with these ICD-10 guidelines. So that's the video on, okay, I've got this document you did. What do I do now? Somebody shared that in there. But anyway, these rooms, I wish I'd have had something like this. And other people charge for these caves and other things that are all over the internet, but just to be a part of them is some monthly fee and stuff, and you can't even find half the resources that we've already got in the 3 weeks we've been here that are in these. This is cool stuff. Super proud of it. Not just to be boasting, but it's cool. I'm so proud of what we've done in just the few weeks we've had this up. We tried to do Facebook and whatever room I created, probably wrong, but it wouldn't hold but 250 people, and now we've got too many of us. So I had to move to something bigger because I don't know what I'm doing with Facebook. Since a week didn't do any anatomy practice questions. We did our OIL. Well, don't worry too bad about anatomy. What, you're going to get 4 questions during the exam, maybe 3 to 4, 5 at the most, anatomy questions. I'm real good about going over what is on people's exams that just took it the last couple of weeks. I'll let you know what they've seen, what they've heard, what vocabulary terms are on there. You're going to be okay. The meat of your exam is going to be these CPT codes. Don't stress too much about other things like, that are only going to have a little bitty amount of questions. I know it's all important, but don't stress too much. Don't stress too much. We don't memorize nothing. We put it all in our books so that we don't have to memorize nothing. Not a thing. So if you go to our Discord, oh my gosh, go to that like ICD-10 room right here, resources. I have, of course, the videos, but I also have pictures of my books of what to write, where, and move your guidelines to the actual codes. There's copies of my notes right there. You know how I tell you to go in and write your examples? Yeah, there's tons of information right here that are going to be able to tell you what to do. Just taking these examples and writing them down near the burns is going to be super helpful. Move your sequencing, what's coded first, second, third, fourth, to the actual codes. Take all of those 4 examples of how to code sepsis and go to the A41 and write all 4 of these examples down right there, because that's 4 different guidelines, and you'll have it there with your codes. Go to your burn section and you write your guideline right there at the diagnosis codes. Code your third, second, and then first. That's the sequencing order. Third degree is first, second degree is second, first degree is first. Move it all to the codes because you won't have time to go to the guidelines to look up stuff. I did the heart attack one, but yeah, move it all to the codes. There's all the cancer ones. I've got all 5 of your guidelines for cancer, and we put it right there on chapter 2, where it starts with all the cancer codes, all the C codes. Write all of those guidelines right there, that first of that page. And I've got them all here listed right there in Discord. Go write them. That's the best thing to do, is to move it there for sure. Compliance, room for compliance for Discord. What have I got? Study guide resources. Med terms, anatomy. Probably, I don't have anything listed in here. Probably could change this to, instead of saying study guide resources, we could change that to compliance and put those questions in there about the ABNs, what is OOPC or OPPS, those kinds of things. All of our guiding questions. Yeah, that could be a good place for it. The questions. Like, what is fraud? That kind of stuff. We could do all that stuff in that area. I just changed the name to compliance. Good observation. We could do that, MK. Yep. Very good. Put all of our HIPAA in there. Okay. I'll go change it to compliance. Thank you. Awesome. All right, guys. We got 3,000 likes. Compliance and regulations. Yep. Thank you so much. I hope this has been helpful. The server number. Hold on. Yet. Wrong place. Learn to click on the right thing. Right there. 6243. OIC questions. 6243. That's the server number. All right, guys. I'm going to skedaddle. I'll be back on. Thanks for the shares of the live and the 3,000 likes. Thank you so much. And I will be back on Friday night for more live, but we'll be, of course, in Discord. You're welcome. See y'all later. I don't know if the hashtag needs to be there or not, MK. I'm sorry, I don't know. Or shall. I don't know. Try it with it and then try it without it. You're very welcome.